Hey Taurus, welcome to your weekly forecast for June 21st through the 27th. This is going to be for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. If you stumble upon this video outside of the dates I just mentioned, don't you worry. You came across it whenever you were ready to hear the messages that are in it. Not every message will be for you. These are general readings, so take what resonates and leave what doesn't. We're going to go ahead and see what is happening, my darlings. Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What is going on in the Taurus collective? What does Taurus need to know now? Alrighty, my dears. Your first card here is the Seven of Cups. Alright. Seven of Cups can come up at a time when we're having a hard time making a decision or we have a lot of options available to us. It can sometimes even mean like you feel very overwhelmed, like you feel like you're dreaming, like, oh, I can't believe this is actually happening, or like a dream come true. I've seen that happen sometimes as well in readings to indicate that there was a time coming in where like you were like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it's actually happening, or I can't believe this is actually here. So it can be a good overwhelmed. Seven of Cups though can also sometimes be that we don't know what to focus on. We're having a hard time. I do feel in your energy, Taurus, some of you feel really antsy to me. Like you feel really eager. You feel like you want to get going. You want to get moving, but like you don't know what to do with that energy, or you don't know where to focus that energy. So one of the little homework assignments I usually give in the videos, or even in the private readings, when the Seven of Cups comes up, is write down a list of the things that sound good to you, right? The things that you think you might be interested in doing, or the things you kind of want to do, but you're kind of shy, or you don't know if other people are gonna think it's a good idea. When I say think it's a good idea, I'll give you an example. Sometimes the people around us, like, they label us and they can't see us outside of that label, okay? Like there was one time I took up stand-up comedy just to push myself to be less shy, or to push myself out of my shell, and everybody was like, you're not funny, like you're not like I can't imagine you doing that, or but I ended up being pretty, decent. I'm not a professional. I didn't make a career out of it, but people would come up at the end of the show and say, oh my gosh, you were so funny, or you were one of my favorites. So everybody around me was like, you can't do that, right? So you guys might have things like that, right? Even for me, when I was thinking of just challenging myself with taking some comedy classes and doing some comedy shows, I was like, oh, but like, what are people gonna think? Or like they're gonna be like, that's not you, like I had this fear. And so some of you might have that fear. Some of you might have that fear, like, this is what I want to do, but I don't know if people around me can imagine me being good at this, or having this interest, or having this talent. So write out a list, and include that stuff, even if it's the stuff that you're like, well, I'm not sure if people are gonna be on board with this, or if they can envision this for me. Just write that stuff down, and then one by one imagine yourself living your life having made that decision. What does life look like? What does it feel like? Which ones of the scenarios make you the happiest? Write that down. And then do your research one by one. Okay, what do I got to do to make this happen? Do I have to take a class? Do I need to get certain kind of equipment? How might I come up with the money for that? Am I going to have to travel somewhere? Right? Like, do the homework, do the research on how to make it happen. Once you do that, you're going to know right away which ones of these goals or ideas or ambitions you can start on right now, like which ones are in reach, they're within your ability, and which ones are the things that you're gonna do over time. You're gonna like build your way up to them. Okay, so that is sorry, my hand I just caught the shadow of my hand gestures. That is, I talk with my hands. That is gonna be, for a lot of you, really important in helping you to kind of get unstuck, because this card usually comes up when you're breaking out of limited thinking. For a long time you were stuck because you felt really like there was no chances or no opportunities, and now all of a sudden you're like, the sky's the limit, what do I do, right? So try that little homework assignment. Your next card here, my dears, is the Hermit. Now, traditionally speaking, this could be representative of Virgo energy. And I know a lot of people are used to watching tarot readings to try to figure out what somebody else is thinking or what somebody else is feeling, or like love readings, right? But in the weekly forecasts, I try to focus on you, okay? I want it to be about you, Taurus. I want it to be about whatever sign I'm reading for, and less about other people and like you and your journey. Because we forget to focus on ourselves sometimes, and I don't like that. I want people to be able to focus on themselves. If you have a Virgo placement, okay, this can be that area of your life is coming into a big transition, into a big shift. It could be that some of you are going to be partnering up or working with a Virgo, or there could be a Virgo that's coming in and, kind of helping along on this journey. But, okay, for the majority of you, we're going to take this as what it is. It's a major arcana card. Major arcana cards come up in readings when we're at a really big transition. We're coming into a new chapter in our life. We're coming into a new cycle, like a new way of doing things, or like just a new way of living. And so they indicate a lot of growth and a lot of change. And these are going to be energies that are going to be around us for a while. We're not talking about, this is just happening for a week or 2 weeks. This is a new chapter, right? This is energy that's going to be around for a while. So Hermit is going to have to do here with basically the mentor, the spiritual teacher, okay? A lot of people take the Hermit as being like alone, or like very kind of solitude, and there can be a certain element to that, and that some of you, it might not be dramatic, but you might be feeling a little bit more introverted, right? You might feel like, oh my gosh, like being around people is feeling a little exhausting to me. I just kind of want to go home and read or take a bath, or watch some TV or YouTube, or do some journaling. Like, you might just be in this energy where you begin to feel a little bit tired around other people, and you're kind of craving your space, your time. Sometimes Hermit can come in that way. But the reason why this is happening, I always see the Hermit as the little caterpillar. The little caterpillar went and ate all the little fruit and all the little leaves, and got its fill, and a little caterpillar is now going into the cocoon, right? I see the Hermit as the cocoon phase, right? It's not about healing, it's not about releasing, it's about really discovering who you are on a soul level and making that transformation. And it's going to come through your spiritual connection. So some of you are gravitating more towards spiritual things. And so what I typically see is the little caterpillar goes into the cocoon, makes the transformation, comes out of the cocoon, and reaches places it would never have even imagined or could have even have dreamed of as a caterpillar. So I see the Hermit card come up a lot of the times when somebody is really on that verge of, coming into their, purpose, their path, aligning with soul family. Hermit is a card that for me also has a strong feeling of transformation with it, because it's that true confidence that comes from being connected to higher self, being connected to higher power, not being fazed or influenced by the thoughts or the opinions of other people. You know what the truth is. You've found your truth. And some of you are going to help others do the same for themselves. Some of you are stepping into role of mentor or leader or teacher in some kind of way. Okay? The next card here is the Page of Cups. Again, traditionally, court cards are going to be representative of other people, traditionally in tarot. So this could absolutely be, some of you are dealing with a water sign person, a Scorpio, Cancer, or a Pisces. And typically, pages are going to indicate younger people, playful people, People who are maybe not very mature sometimes. So for some of you, it can be kind of going through your inner child coming to the surface. For some of you, you may be kind of dealing or leading or guiding some of your kids. If you're a parent, you're being more alert, more aware, and you're stopping certain cycles, like cycles that your parents or parental figures put you through. You're not doing that with your kid. But for me, traditionally, Page of Cups has to do with, I mean, not traditionally, intuitively, I'm going to say. For me, in my readings, one of the things I've seen, a lot of the times Page of Cups comes up when somebody is basically, like the heart chakra is opening up. The heart chakra is opening up, and they're beginning to feel, they're beginning to experience, and sometimes we can get a little bit overwhelmed when that happens. Okay, sometimes we kind of want to like shut things down, and I feel for some of you this is in connection to the spiritual journey that you're on. I think a lot of you are about to really kind of level up with your intuition, your spiritual connection, receiving messages, and that doesn't surprise me because we're going through an evolution right now. We're going through an awakening as a whole, as mankind as a whole worldwide. And we're evolving, just like people came out of the dark ages in the past and they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we did those horrible barbaric things, right? Like we're going through a similar transition and we're evolving as a species. And one of the things that's happening in that evolution is we are being more in tune with our spiritual connection, and a lot of you are making that connection right now. So with the Page of Cups next to the Hermit, it makes me feel that some of you are having certain experiences spiritually and you're happy about it, but you also feel a little bit overwhelmed, and you're going to find yourself wanting to shut it down or pull it back. Okay, because Spirit is showing me back when I finally learned how to meditate, I had the hardest time learning how to meditate. Meditating was so challenging for me, and then I finally got into the habit of it, and then I would start doing it, and 5 minutes in, 10 minutes in, I would get really overwhelmed and I would shut it down. I'm like, this is too intense. I can't, it's too intense, it's too much. Like, I feel like some of you might be having those kinds of experiences where you begin to feel the process, but you get a little bit overwhelmed. My only advice to you is don't shut it down completely, like to where you just give it up and walk away from it. It's okay to take breaks. It became kind of scary for me. I had to little by little kind of be able to deal with meditating, right? So I would try to do an extra minute each time. I would set the timer and I wouldn't let myself come out of it until the timer went off. And each time I would do like an extra minute or an extra 2 minutes. And little by little, gradually, now I love meditating. So I feel that some of you might be having experiences spiritually where you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed. Or as you're opening up and your heart chakra is opening up, you might find that your personal relationships are becoming better, whether they're friendship or family or love life, and you might be tempted to push somebody away or it feels a little too intense. Take a break from it, take a breather, let yourself kind of, pace yourself, but don't shoot yourself in the foot, so to speak. Don't shut it down and, tear it apart and run away from it altogether, because sometimes that happens when the heart chakra is opening up. Okay, we don't want to undo all the amazing progress you've been making. Your next card, Taurus, is the Five of Wands. Now, the Five of Wands can be seen as challenges, as arguing, as fighting. It could be an inner conflict. It can sometimes indicate competition. If you're doing something in terms of career where you've been focused on career, or you've been trying to put some kind of business out there or get some kind of self-employment going, the Five of Wands is positive. Because the Five of Wands is saying you're throwing your hat in the ring, so to speak. You're being seen as a competitor. people are like, oh, look out, you know, Taurus is coming up, right? Taurus is getting attention. Taurus is getting noticed. Taurus is getting clients. Taurus is getting customers. Taurus is getting projects and opportunities, right? So it can be that you're in the competition, right? And business and career is competitive, right? So some of you are making a name for yourself in this way. Some of you may be dealing with internal conflicts and struggles as you're having this awakening and coming into your transformation. I don't normally pull clarifiers in the weekly forecasts because people just want me to hurry up and say the message, but we're gonna pull clarifiers here for the Five of Wands. In which way might Taurus collective be experiencing Five of Wands energy in the week ahead, please? Ooh, Hanged Man. Five of Cups. Okay. I see it. I see it very clearly. Okay. So, in a nutshell, what these three cards together are telling me, some of you are feeling stuck and you're afraid to take action because as your heart chakra is opening up and you're releasing your previous disappointments or opening up to the possibility of receiving, there's this fear of disappointment, right? And there's this like waiting for something to happen or waiting for things to happen, and there might be a little bit of an impulsiveness. And so what you need to do, you need to work on grounding this week, Taurus. You need to work on grounding because I feel some of you might get very frustrated and make an impulsive decision. Also, the Hanged Man for me in my readings comes in and says that you're about to manifest. You're getting unblocked. You're about to manifest. Things are going to start coming down the pipeline, so to speak. But some of the energy that you're putting out there or some of the things that you're trying to manifest is from before your evolution, before your ascension. It's kind of like, you know, if you're putting in your Christmas list and you're putting in your Christmas list from when you were 4 years old. Sure, if you got some of those things, you might be happy that you got them. There might be like some nostalgia, but really, what are you going to do with it? How is it going to add to your life? So it's time to kind of check in with yourself, do some self-reflection. What are you putting out there? What are you asking for from the universe? Why do you want it? What do you think it's going to give you? What are some ways you can align with some of those feelings right now in the current moment? Because the Hangman for me is like your wish is about to come true because, you know, Spirit and Universe has to honor your free will, but Spirit and Universe also realizes that you might be asking for things that aren't going to make you as happy as you think they're going to make you. Okay? So it's a good time to kind of check in here. It's a good time to check in with yourself. Do some self-reflection. Don't make your decisions based on fear. Okay? And don't make impulsive decisions. Don't rush. Don't get impatient. Remind yourself you have time. Things are happening within divine timing. And just kind of check in here and focus on that hermit energy. Focus on that spiritual connection. And then you can go forward with that confidence. And you're not going to make decisions in fear. And you're not going to make decisions out of habit or out of impulse. Okay? Because I did say I felt some of you have like this antsy energy. Don't let it get the best of you. You know, be in control of it. You might want to check out your moon sign and rising sign videos. Some weeks those are going to resonate more than others. You may need a private reading, which I'm more than happy to do for you. If you go to calendly.com/amethystangelite, you can schedule a private reading with me there. Also, my dears, love readings for June are linked in the description. July love readings will be up soon. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. Take care, Taurus. Bye.